Hi BookTube! My name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I am coming to you at the start of another weekly reading vlog. So this is from June the 5th through June the 11th. And I am starting this off. It is Saturday morning. I am sitting down with you guys to share with you the books that I am planning on reading in this coming week. And then I will officially kind of start the vlog tomorrow. But this is just the intro clip of my reading plans for the week. So if you're new to my channel, I have a bunch. There's 8 books I'd like to read this week. Let's put it that way. And I've got them all listed here. They're for different separate little challenges that I've imposed on myself, challenges that I'm doing elsewhere, one of them anyway. And of course, I will be picking from the jar. So the TBR jar, or TBR mug, if you will, the 12 books that I talked about in my June TBR video are all written down on pieces of paper inside this mug, and I will be picking 3 of them out, and my goal is to read through them this week. So let's kind of dump them out here in front of me, put them back just to mix them up a little bit, and let's see what we get. So let's pick a piece of paper out. So the very first book we are drawing from the mug is Her Dark Lies. Okay, Her Dark Lies. This is by J.T. Ellison. So yay, I'm looking forward to this one. It's a thriller book, so that should be really, really great. All right, what do we have next? I'm trying not to look because the pieces of paper are opening up and I don't want to like inadvertently see before I pull something out. So here's the second pick. We have Cottage at the Beach. Okay, great. This is by Lee Tobin McLean. This is a contemporary romance. It's the first in a series. Looking forward to that one as well. Yay. So far, we've got some good picks here, you guys. I mean, all the ones in here are good picks because they're ones I'm really looking forward to. And last but not least, we have the new Kristen Higgins. Now, I think this comes out on Tuesday. It's Out of the Clear Blue Sky, but I have plans on getting it on audio. So I might put it, you know what, because it hasn't been released yet, I'm going to put it back in the jar. I think it comes out on the 7th, so I'm going to put it back in the jar. We're going to do this again. Normally I wouldn't repick, but because I really want to listen to it on audio, and I do have it pre-ordered on audio, so just in case, so we will pull another one out of the jar. And the one that we have here is... Yay! Okay, A Botanist's Guide to Parties and Poisons. I cannot remember the name of the author for this one, but of course the cover will be up here. This is one I'm really looking forward to. It's like a historical fiction mystery. I'm down. So we have a thriller, a contemporary romance, and a historical fiction. That's like a great mix, right, from the jar. So thank you, jar. And we'll get to the Kristen Higgins before the end of the month, guaranteed. It's just like I said, I pre-ordered it on Audible, so I do want to make sure that I am utilizing that service because I used a credit for it, right? So the next pick we have is my throwback book for the week. So as you guys know, I am rereading my way through a bunch of different series. Nancy Drew, Babysitter's Club, Sweet Valley. This week we have a Babysitter's Club book, and I will be reading Jessi's Horrible Prank by Ann M. Martin. I believe this is the 75th book in the Babysitter's Club series. So I've got this one to read, looking forward to it. The Pick My Next Read, you guys. So when I did the Pick My Next Read on Friday, I posted it, like immediately the comments I started getting were for Spring at Saddle Run by Dolores Fawson. And I was like, okay, it sounds like that's going to be like the runaway winner. And then all of a sudden it's like the pendulum shifted and like everybody was like voting for The Summer Seekers. So the book that won is The Summer Seekers by Sarah Morgan. I cannot wait to read this one. I am so excited. I mean, both of them, all 3 of those books, I was super excited about if you watched that video. But, which is why I'm glad that you guys picked. But I had this feeling it was going to be The Summer Seekers, so I'm super glad about that. So yay. Next, we have the Pass the Parcel read. So this is a challenge that I am doing with the Romance Readers Reading Group over on Goodreads. I love doing this challenge. I really, really do. But this part of me is kind of like, towards the end, I'm almost over it. I'm like, okay, like having to pick a book to fit a criteria. My big thing is because I have all these books on my TBR, a lot of the times I have to go outside of my TBR to pick a book. And that's what I'm not enjoying as much. So I don't know what I might do going forward instead of participating in Pass the Parcel. What I might do is get just start What I was thinking would be kind of fun would be to start gathering, and I used to do this. I had a jar filled with all kinds of prompts. Book with a blue cover, book with a single person on the cover, new release for whatever year it was, author's debut book, blah, 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 blah. Like all of these great prompts that you would see in a lot of like, read-alongs or readathons and stuff like that, and have a jar full of them and just like every week pick one out and then just pick a book on my TBR that I've already compiled that meets that criteria. Because the ones for these are a bit narrower and sometimes it's a lot harder. So to pass the parcel, I don't know, like this is the second to last week. So it's like this week and then next week and then it's done. So after that, I might start doing this TBR jar. So I don't know, I'm going to start putting it together. Maybe what I'll do is if I do that, let me know, you guys, and I will like pick the prompt. Maybe when I do the pick my next read video, or at the end of the weekly reading vlog, I'll just pull that prompt out for all of you and then we can all kind of, do you know what I mean? Like pick a book that, I don't know, would you guys be interested in doing that as well? Like just a weekly prompt, a weekly reading prompt essentially. So anyway, that might be kind of fun. So back to the Pass the Parcel. So for this week, the prompt was to read a book that has a number 9 in the page count. So not that obscure, but literally, guys, for my entire TBR that I had, one book fit this, just one. Now, the great thing is that you can look at other editions. So I would have had to have gone through every book and looked at all the different editions, like English language editions, to find a book that has a 9 in the page count. So that's what I mean by it being a bit obscure. For people who don't have set TBRs like I do, this would be a great challenge. But for someone with a set TBR like me, I need the challenges to be a bit more broad. So anyway, that's a thing. So the book that I picked, I'm actually really looking forward to. I literally just bought this book a few days ago, and I stuck it on my TBR thinking, oh, I won't get to it, but I'm just going to put it on here for funsies, and I needed it, clearly. Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. I am really excited about this. It's a female-female romance. I've heard nothing but good things about it. The second book is out or is coming out soon, and I think they've announced the third book. And it's a series, like in the same small town. And I love the cover, and I'm really looking forward to this book very, very much. Next, we have my Harlequin read. So I have, as you guys know, a plethora of category romances, both physically and digitally. So I pick one every week to read, and I will be reading In a Cowboy's Arms by Rebecca Winter. I'm looking forward to this one very much. And last but not least, next in series. So the pick for this one is I have a list of series that I've been very slowly working my way through. And I essentially randomly pick a series every week, and I try and read the next book in series. And for this week, the series I believe is the Colt Brothers Investigations. I should have maybe written that down. But it's book 2, which is Sticking to Her Guns by B.J. Daniels. This is a brand new series. Like, the first book just came out in April, and I think this is a new release this month in June. So I will be completely caught up if I can get to this one this week, which would be fantastic. So that is 8 books, you guys. 8 books that I have for this week. Let's see if I can do it. The majority of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these, 6 of the 8 are on audio. The 2 Harlequins are not on audio. So we will see how we do this week. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it. I will check in with y'all tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hi, BookTube. Good morning and happy Sunday. Today is the 5th of June, and I just finished filming the final clip for last week's vlog. I've already done the intro to this vlog, so this is clip number 2. We are sitting down for morning coffee and a book chat, so good morning, everybody. It's about 8:30 in the morning. I'm getting this filmed so I can get this edited, or last week's vlog edited, and then posted, and we'll let it export here, and I have to go grocery shopping. So I'm going to keep this very brief this morning and just share with you guys what I am reading today. So last night, actually, before bed, I did start another book, because if you watched last week's vlog, you know I finished 2 books last Saturday, or on Saturday. And then last night before bed, I actually started another book, which was The Summer Seekers by Sarah Morgan. So I did start this last night. I'm about 8% of the way through it. And so far, I'm really enjoying it. This is the story of a woman who's in her 80s. She's 80 years old. Her name's Kathleen. And she has a little run-in with an intruder in her home. And her daughter's very upset and wants to put her into kind of an assisted living facility. And she's like, no, I want to go on an epic road trip. So that's kind of the plot of this book. But like I said, I'm about 8% of the way through it and I'm loving it. I didn't want to put it down last night, but it was midnight. And I'm like, I gotta get to bed. So I will be doing a lot more reading on this one today. Really enjoying it. Now, I do have it. I have it on my Kobo, which is what I'm reading it on right now. But I also have it out on audio from the library, and I did listen to a bit of it last night on audio while I was doing that Happy Color app on my tablet. And then I put that away because the Happy Color app was starting, like I finished the picture I was coloring, and then my eyes were starting to bother me because it had been a long day and I'd had a headache for a good part of the day. So I just laid in bed and just read it off my continued reading it. So it takes place in the UK. Like right now it's taking place in the UK. So far I'm already liking this one a lot more than I liked The Beach House by Sarah Morgan, which is her newer release. So we shall see where this lands. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. And then I thought I would show you guys, because I didn't do this last week. I think I showed you I was knitting on a sock, but I didn't kind of show you the progress of the sock. So living in this adorable little Australian animal bag, crocodiles, kangaroos, pelicans. I mean, some of these are not all like tortoises, parrot. They're not all, but I think like all these animals do reside in Australia. So I am working on a sock, and this is for the a summer challenge that the Crazy Sock Lady is doing at summer camp or summer sock camp or something like that. And the challenge is to knit socks over the course of the summer from the 28th of May until the 31st of August. And I'm actually kind of challenging myself to knit 3 pairs of socks, but we shall see if I can do that. So this is my pair for June. So I'd have a June pair, a July pair, and an August pair. So this is my pair for June. So this is how far I am right now. I am doing a pattern on these. It's kind of hard to tell. It's not a really intricate pattern, but it's called Morning Coffee. And I'm knitting these on a pair of Flexi Flip needles. So I've got my little dolphin stitch marker to denote what side the front is. But I'm going to put another little stitch marker in here of a adorable little purple peep. Like, you know, the Peeps candy? Yeah, it's a little purple peep. Just because he matches the yarn. And then at the end of the week, it'll show you guys how far I got, because if I put this in here, as I knit on it, come on, slide in there. As I knit on it, you'll see like, you know, how much more I've knit, and you'll see how far I got in the week. I think that'll be kind of fun. So anyway, so that is that. Yeah, but that's it. I'm trying to keep this vlog shorter than last week. I know these vlogs have been getting longer and longer, but I am going to try my best to keep them short and sweet. As I mentioned in all of my vlogs, but just in case, I don't think I mentioned it yesterday, if you want to jump ahead to any of the book reviews that I will eventually end up doing, check the timestamps in the description box below, and you can jump ahead. Like when I finish a book, I will timestamp it so you guys can go ahead and just watch the reviews if that's all you're here to watch, which is fine. And yeah, and that's it, you guys. Until tomorrow, I'll talk to you then. Bye, guys. Morning, BookTube. Happy Monday. Today is the 6th of June, and I am here with a little car clip. I haven't sat in the car and chatted with you guys in a while, so I'm keeping this very, very quick because I am on my way to work. I gotta head out. But just an update that yesterday was just not a great reading day. I did not get a lot read, but that's okay. I got a ton read on Saturday. So, you know, not every day is going to be a huge I mean, we have other things to do. And in yesterday's case, my aunt, my mom's sister, she came for a visit, and we went for lunch, and then we were hanging out in the afternoon, you know, just chatting and stuff like that. So it was kind of a family day. So that's fine. It's a little chilly out this morning. I've got my coat on, just my light summer or spring coat. And it's not cold by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a little chilly, but it's supposed to warm up. It's really overcast. I don't know if you can tell that. It's really, really overcast today. So anyway, I am heading off to the office, and I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hi friends, today is Wednesday. It is the 8th of June. Yesterday you got literally a 10-second clip of the rain from the parking garage. I am sorry, I have not been able to do clips over the last few days. Sorry for the glare in my glasses of the light. It is what it is. I'm using my oh so fancy selfie stick. As you can tell, I'm at home today. I'm working from home today, which is great, but work has been ridiculously busy. So I had to go in on Monday and it was crazy busy. I had to go in yesterday and it was crazy busy. So the other thing is too is that I've been going in a little bit earlier because I'm off on Friday, which is a big bonus. But because I'm off on Friday, like I worked on Saturday, so I did 5 hours on Saturday and we have 7-hour shifts. We have our lunch as well, but because we don't get paid for lunch, it's considered a 7-hour shift. Anyway, whatever. So because it's a 7-hour shift, we do a 5-hour shift on the weekend. We have to make up 2 hours somewhere. So what I agreed to do was to come in early every day this week. I'd rather come in early than stay late. So instead of starting at 11, I'm starting at 10:30, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is. Because I am now leaving during rush hour, so I have to leave even that much earlier. So I had to get out, especially yesterday with the rain. Sorry for the shaking camera. So I had to get out even earlier with the rain and stuff like that. So it's made for some pretty hectic mornings. I've mentioned this before in my vlogs that I am one who likes routine, and I don't like when my routine is messed up. So anyway, that being said, I have not had a chance to sit down and talk to you guys over the last couple days. I was going to do it today, and then I got busy doing something else this morning, and tomorrow, from the looks of things, tomorrow should be a little bit better. I don't have anything to do first thing in the morning before work, so I'm going to sit down and film a proper clip. I have stuff to update you guys on because I have finished some books, you guys. I have finished 2 books since the last time that I talked to you. So, actually, I finished 3 books this week, technically. But one of them is for my Harlequin vlog. So that one, you will not see that review until more towards the end of the month. But I have finished 2 other books. I finished The Summer Seekers by Sarah Morgan, and I have finished a Babysitters Club book. So that's very exciting. So I will update you guys tomorrow, but I just wanted to check in. I was not doing this because I know I've been complaining the last few weeks on how long the vlogs are. And my intention was not to miss days this week. Like, my intention was absolutely to put clips out every day, like to film clips every day like I normally do. But that just is not the way this week has worked. So chances are this vlog is going to be shorter than normal. However, on Friday, I am off. And I don't know if I've mentioned this, but next week I'm actually going away for 2 days. I'm going away overnight. It's actually a work-related trip. We're going up just north of us to this resort, and it's the first trip the firm has taken in 2.5 years. And I've only been working there for about 1.5 years. So I'm really, really excited about this trip. And I'll be taking, of course, you guys along with me as much as I possibly can. And so I'm off this Friday. So what I'm thinking about doing is I might go get my nails done, which might be a treat. I really haven't had my nails done in since pre-pandemic days. I think I might have gotten them done once in that time, but then the lockdown started again and I couldn't get back to a nail salon and it was just for safety and blah, blah, blah. So I think I'm going to do that on Friday. So I might take you guys along for that, but audiobooks will be great for that. While I'm sitting in the salon, just getting shellac done on the nails. It's a lot of so with this event, event at this resort, I am meeting a lot of people for the very first time. I mean, I work out of head office, but we have a lot of satellite branches, and I talk to a lot of the people at the satellite branches. I was just talking to one of the ladies today, and she even said to me on the phone, she's like, she's so excited to meet me, and I said, same. Like, I am really looking forward to meeting everybody, and I kind of sort of want to look my best. You know what I mean? Like, I've been talking to these people on the phone for 1.5 years, but it's going to be so great to be able to meet people in person. So I'm really looking forward to that. I might even have to dye my hair too. Like, I don't know. I think I'm going to do that too. Make myself all fancy. So that'll be my plans for Friday. And then of course I got the weekend, but yeah, so I have finished 2 books, but I will update you guys on my thoughts on those 2 books. Tomorrow I'll do a proper sit down, when I'm not kind of feeling like I'm rushing. And yeah, so that is it, you guys, for this clip today. I will check in with you tomorrow. I promise. Bye, guys. Hi friends, happy Thursday. Today is the 9th of June and it is about 8:04 in the morning. So I have been up, I was up early this morning, I was up just after 6 and I knew I wanted to get some filming done because I haven't done that. I just finished filming a clip for the Harlequin vlog that is going to go up later this month because I finished 3 books this week so far. One of them was for the Harlequin vlog. This book. I finished it on Monday. That's all I'm going to say. Stay tuned to that vlog. Stay tuned. And then I want to film this clip. And then I want to film my Friday video, my spinning the wheel video that I love doing so much. So kind of got a lot going on right now. I was going to do, the plan for today's video, like for my Thursday video that goes up, was to do my month end wrap up and stats video, but I have not compiled anything and I'm like, you know what, we're just going to skip it this month. It's fine. It's fine. So I did on Saturday actually filmed a library haul because I went to the library on Saturday and I wasn't going to put that up. Like I filmed it and it was just kind of sitting there and I'm like, because I don't know 100% if I'm going to get to those books or not. They're sitting here right beside me. I want to pick them up right now, but I'm currently reading 3 other things, which I'll get to in a few minutes. The reason why. And it's fine. It's all fine. Everything's fine. But because I'm not sure if I'm going to get to those or not, I'm like, do I really want to put up that video? But then I'm like, yeah, I kind of like doing those like library haul videos. It's fun, and it will, maybe it'll push me to pick up one of those. Anyway, I have so many things on my TBR that I want to get to, but they're fun books from the library. So I don't know. But anyway, that video is what went up today. So anyway, it's just because this week has been weird for me. That's all. That I had that video pre-filmed. That's what's going to go up. It's just going to be the easiest thing to do. And then we'll be back to our regular schedule next week. So let's start off with the books that I finished so far this week, which was 2 books, not including the Harlequin book. So the first book that I finished was The Summer Seekers by Sarah Morgan. I loved this book, you guys. I gave it, was it 4.5 stars? I think it was 4.5 stars. I'm not absolutely certain. I should have checked that before I sat down here. But I will, like at the end of this vlog, like I do, I kind of give like a quick breakdown of every single book that I read with the star rating. So if I was incorrect, I'll give my correct star rating then. But I'm pretty sure it was 4.5 stars. It might have been 4 stars. I can't remember. Anyway, I loved this. I did listen to it on audio, even though I have a physical edition, and I'm so happy that I have this physical edition because I love it. This is the UK copy, and I just think it's so much prettier than the North American copy, but that's just my opinion. So essentially this is the story of Kathleen, and Kathleen is like 80, 81 years old, and at the very beginning of the book, this intruder breaks into her house. I mean, breaks in is a loose term for the fact that she left the back door open. And he was drunk or inebriated or whatever, and he thought he was somewhere else. Like it wasn't malicious on his behalf. It was an accident, and he came into her home. He didn't attack her or anything like that, but it freaked her out, and she hit him over the head with a frying pan. And then had to call the police. So her daughter, so she lives up on the coast. This takes place, the book starts off in England. It takes place in both England and the US. So the mother lives about 4 hours away from London up on the coast by the sea. And the daughter gets the phone call and she's all a flutter. And so her and her husband do the 4-hour drive to go see the mother and see how she's doing. And the mother and the daughter pretty much wants to put her into what they call residential housing, I guess, which would be like a senior's home or a retirement home or something like that, as what we would call it here in North America. So mother doesn't want to leave her house. She's got this beautiful cottage by the sea. Now, the mother used to do this TV show called The Summer Seekers, which was like one of the very first travel shows, I guess. And it was way back when the daughter, Liza, was quite young that she did this show. And she traveled all over the world, going to different locations and kind of being like what we would now call a vlogger, but it was on television and she had a whole crew and stuff like that. But you know what I'm talking about. So she's been retired from that for about 20 years or so. And, she kind of misses that sense of adventure and travel. And she wants to do Route 66 in the U.S., like the original Route 66. It's now been it's not really being used anymore. It's like they've put in a freeway or a, what do you call it? A highway or something like that. So anyway, she ends up hiring this girl named Martha, who's an absolute delight. The mother, Kathleen, does. And the two of them jet off to the U.S. and they decide to drive Route 66 in a Ford Mustang convertible. So the daughter is a little freaked out. Like, her mother is older and she's scared for her health, of course. And is she doing the right thing? The daughter's kind of struggling, Liza, with her marriage. She's been married for almost 20 years and her marriage has kind of hit a spot. She has two teenage daughters. They're a set of twins who are defying her every chance that they get, that they're teenagers, you know what I mean? So there's kind of a lot going on. So you're getting this book from three different perspectives, from Kathleen's, from Martha's, and from Liza's. And at first it took me a bit to warm up to Liza. Is it Eliza or Liza? Liza. Liza, right? To warm up to her because I didn't like the way she was treating the mother. Like, pretty much like talking to her like she's a child. Like, I know what's best for you. You're going to do what I say is. But they have not had the best relationship. So this is also really a story about mothers and daughters, which I really, really enjoyed. And, you know, grandmothers and granddaughters. And, you know, it was very, very much a family story, but like a female family story, like those relationships, those female relationships that we have within our families, you know, with our children, with our grandparents, with our mothers, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. I did enjoy, like, you guys know, I reviewed it a few weeks ago, Sarah Morgan's new one, The Beach House. I enjoyed it, but this was Sarah Morgan to me. This was a Sarah Morgan book. I just felt The Beach House wasn't my favorite by her, but this one, I don't know whether it's going to be a favorite. I still love The Christmas Sisters, but this one is definitely up there in terms of books that I love by this author. So yeah, again, really happy I have a physical edition and I really enjoyed it. The other book that I finished, I had to think about what it was Jessi's Horrible Prank by Anna Martin, which is book 75 in the Babysitters Club series. I did listen to this one on audio. I literally started it, was it on Tuesday? It must have been Tuesday. Because I finished The Summer Seekers while I was at work doing some admin stuff. Like, I had it on audio. I started the Babysitters Club book and I had it finished that day. Like, it was like a few hours long on audio. So I enjoyed this one. It was okay. Not a favorite of mine. I think I gave it 3 stars. So essentially in this book, there's this like event going on at Stony Brook Middle School called the 6th Grade Follies, where all the 6th graders are being encouraged to participate in this like not a talent competition. I want to say like almost like a roast, like, you know, where these celebrity roasts where they get up and they make fun of in a funny way of a celebrity. But that's essentially what they were doing, but to the teachers at the school. So there's this new teacher at the school who's teaching like this kind of computer class, and his name is Mr. Trout, and all the students make fun of him in class. They are constantly like throwing spitballs at him and dropping books. And there's one bad prank where they like actually like remove his toupee. Like, they're being little bratty 6th graders. Let's be realistic, right? And Jessi, you know, kind of is sort of participating because the whole class is doing it. And if she feels like if she doesn't do it, then she's going to get picked on. So I liked that message of like following the crowd or doing your own thing kind of an idea. And like, you know, you don't want to be ostracized for not doing, but you know in your heart what's right and wrong. So I did like that aspect of it. My issue with this book was that the teacher, so they do the Follies and Jessi ends up pretending to be this Mr. Trout guy. She wears like a bald wig and blah, blah, blah. And she kind of makes fun of him in this Follies production thing that they put on. There's so many like musical and theatrical events that happen at Stony Brook Middle School. It's ridiculous. So anyway, and after that, the next day, like on the Monday, the teacher never shows up at school and essentially he quits his job, right? So what bothered me in this book was the way the teacher was treated. So, okay, they talk about it towards the end of the book that the principal's like, you know, he couldn't manage the class. And that is something that a teacher needs to do. They need to be able to manage and in a way keep the students under control, right? They can't let the students take over the classroom in a way. Does that make sense? Like, they have to be the adult figure. They have to be I don't want to use the term disciplinary because they're not there to discipline the kids, but to make them focus and make them pay attention. That's the teacher's job, and to teach them. At least that's my understanding. I'm not a teacher. It's been many years since I was in school. So that's my understanding. And he could not control this class, right? Like, they were just kind of walking all over him. And he didn't, and again, I don't like using the word discipline. He didn't give them detention. He didn't send them to the principal's office. He didn't do any of those things. He just kind of let it happen. So the principal says to Jessi, like, he just kind of wasn't cut out to be like, is that really something you should be discussing with a 6th grader? For one, that was the first thing. But I guess they had to advance the plot, and Jessi had to find out exactly what happened. That they kind of put the onus on Mr. Trout, like, he wasn't good enough. But the fact of the matter is that once the teachers found out that this is what was going on, no one did anything. No one, they said to Jessi, oh, we really appreciate you, because she ended up writing a letter to Mr. Trout apologizing for her portrayal of him in this thing and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, it's fine, I'm going back to school, because he wants to do research instead of teach, which is fine. But I just really felt like they blamed him. Like, he didn't get any help. Like, again, partially it's like he didn't ask for it, but this other part is like, if he's a new teacher at the school, shouldn't somebody be checking on him? Like, I don't know. It just all seemed too easy, and the blame on him just seemed too easy, and I didn't like that. That was my one thing about this book that I didn't like. So anyway, that's that. So what am I currently reading? Like I said, I'm currently reading 3 things. So I started, let me see here. On Tuesday afternoon, I got like a chapter read. I started reading Her Dark Lies by J.T. Ellison, which is a thriller. So this is about a man and woman named Claire, and I think his name is Jack, and they are getting married. And they are getting married on this island in Italy, which is what is here on the cover, this island. And right before, like, the wedding, something happens. I don't want to give away what it is, but it does happen right at the very beginning of the book. An accident happens between Claire and an intruder in the house. And it's, okay, I'll just say, because if not, it's going to be way too vague. But it literally happens in the first 3 chapters. So it's not really a spoiler. So essentially, someone breaks into their home and she shoots him. So Jack is from a very, very, very well-to-do family, a very prominent family going back generations, and he has bodyguards. So after this incident happens where Claire shoots this guy, everybody's telling her, no, 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 the bodyguard did it. It wasn't you. We tell the police, we tell everyone else, the bodyguard did it. So now they've arrived at this like villa on this island that the family owns in Italy, off the coast of Italy, I guess, in the Mediterranean Sea, for their wedding. And she just can't stop thinking about, of course, this murder. And pardon me, then weird things start to happen. So, pardon me, again, it's a thriller. So I got the hiccups. I am about 20% of the way through this, not very far. And I think that was part of my problem yesterday, is that I was like having a hard time not getting into this, but I don't know if I was in a thriller mood. Like, listen to me being a mood reader. But it was good. It was compelling. The chapters are short, and I do really like J.T. Ellison's work. I just think because things have been so crazy over the last few days that I've been having a hard time focusing on anything, to be completely honest. So I'm really looking forward to the next few days. Like today, it's hopefully going to be a bit of a quieter day at work. I'm working from home, and then I'm off tomorrow, and I have the weekend, so I'm very much looking forward to that. So I'm hoping that I can get some books done. So anyway, I decided at that point that what I really needed to also be reading, or what I needed to read, was the book for My Pass the Parcel, which will be like tomorrow. I should have this read by tomorrow, but I don't think it's going to happen. Oh, Her Dark Lies I'm listening to on audio, and I'm listening to this one on audio as well. So I started this one yesterday, and I've actually gotten quite a bit of the ways through this. I'm about 20% of the way through this one because I've been really enjoying it. And this is Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. And I am really enjoying this one so far. So it's a female-female romance. And it's a small-town contemporary romance. And our main character, Delilah, she is flown in from New York City because her stepsister, Astrid, is getting married. And her and her stepsister don't get along. They've never really gotten along. They're two very different people. And Claire, which is the other female lead in this book, She is a single mother of I think a 9-year-old little girl named Ruby. Her and her ex-husband split up. They married young. She got pregnant, and then they split up because they were just too young, really, right? So anyway, she's trying to meet someone. She's bisexual. Delilah is a lesbian, and they knew each other when they were younger, because Claire is a very good friend of Astrid's, and they don't really remember. Delilah was very, very different in school. She kind of hid within herself in a way, like she wasn't outgoing. She stuck to herself. She was very quiet, that kind of a personality, I should say. And now she's a little bit more outgoing. She's an artist. She's a photographer. So she's actually there to photograph her stepsister's wedding. So, of course, she meets Claire. We're at that point right now where they have re-met each other, essentially. And they have feelings for each other, like lusty feelings for each other. We'll say that. It's not a love at first sight type scenario. It's definitely a, hey, we met at the bar kind of a scenario. So we'll see where the story goes from there. But so far, I am really enjoying it. I'm really liking the writing on it, and it's quite funny. So yeah, I am really enjoying it so far. And so there's this book, and then there's, I think, 2 more after this in this series. And I'm really, like, so far, if I continue to like it as much as I am now, I could see this being another, like, high-ranking book for me, and I will really be looking forward to the next books in the series. So then the third book that I'm currently reading, I literally just started this one last night, and I'm not even a chapter into it yet. Because, so first thing I want to mention, for anyone who may have noticed or may not have noticed, that the Categorically Romance podcast that I co-started with my very good friend Bree, I haven't really been on very much, ever since I landed in a hospital. And the reason for that is solely me. I have been busy. Like, work has been busy. I am working on a course that I am doing. And I know Bree, really, really wants to push the podcast as much as she can. It was both of our babies, but it was like, for her, it's her creative outlet. Does that make sense? Like, this is my baby. YouTube is mine. Like, this has kind of been what I have really loved from day one. Talking to you guys, building this channel, building, my viewership and the stuff I talk about and what have you. And I've really, really loved it. And the podcast was just like going to be a slight extension of that in a way, right? Getting to sit down with my best friend, or one of my best friends, and talk to authors and talk about category romance books and stuff like that. But, like, I guess being in the hospital kind of shifted priorities for me and stuff like that. Like, when I got back, I was doing a lot of healing. Like, I didn't have a lot of videos coming out in March. And I know Bree, like I said, she really, really wanted to push, like, doing a lot of interviews and stuff like that. And I just couldn't devote that kind of time, to be completely honest. I felt guilty because she was doing, like, so much of the work, like booking people and putting questions together. I was just showing up. And I just felt like I wasn't pulling my weight. And her and Erin, who's now doing the podcast with her, have done a brilliant job. Like, they are doing so good at it. So I made the decision to take a leave of absence. I have stepped back away from the podcast. I'm not saying I'm not eventually going back, but I don't know. I know Bree really, really wants to run with the interviews and stuff. And I do love doing interviews. And that's what I'm going to get into in just a second. But it's again, this is her creative baby, or that is her creative baby, and this is mine. So that's kind of, in case anyone's been curious as to what's been happening, I love to make an appearance every now and then for, like, a chatty video. I think that would be so, so, so much fun. So I'm hoping that they will have me back on for something like that at some point. But yeah, so anyway, all that being said, that there are some authors that now, the great thing about the podcast is it's 2 separate things, right? So anything that Bree does not affect anything that I do, and vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, it's 2 separate entities. They've got nothing to do with each other, So I decided over the last few days to reach out to a few authors, because I would kind of like to do some interviews here on my channel. I think that would be a lot of fun, to talk with some of these authors one-on-one. I think I might call the series, like, In Conversation With, and then, like, whoever the author is. So I've already lined up my first author, you guys, and I am so excited. So she is a category romance author. She writes for the special edition line, but she has a single title book coming out at the end of this month, and it's Sasha Summers, and I am thrilled. I am so thrilled. So this is her new book, The Sweetest Thing, and like I said, it comes out on the 28th of June. I had to check the calendar, the last Tuesday of the month. I will be interviewing her live on the channel on the 25th. So 2 Saturdays from this week. So like 2 Saturdays from this week, if that makes sense. So I started this book last night because I did get it from NetGalley, and I'm like, if I'm going to talk to her, I want to make sure I read the book. It's the first book in a series. It's a contemporary romance, small town Texas series. I am so excited. She also has a new special edition book coming out this month. So we'll be talking about both of them. So I hope you guys will join us then. I don't have a time yet. I'm still working all that out with her. But stay tuned to the channel because I will put up an announcement well before I actually do the sit-down talk with her. But I am really, really looking forward to talking to her. So I did start this book last night. So that's the third book that I'm currently reading. And that's kind of a little bit, I don't know if anyone's been curious or not, how many of you actually listen to the podcast. I will still promote the podcast because I still truly believe in what Bree and Aaron are doing. I think that they are doing a bang-up job. I still do have access to, of course, the calendar and stuff like that. And I happened to click on it the other day. Like what happens is when I bring up my Google Calendar, the podcast calendar is kind of overlaid as well. So I see all that, and they are booking stuff like crazy. There are some great authors that they're going to be interviewing soon, which I am so excited. So if you guys are fans of category romance, the link will always be in the description box below. Please go and check them out. They are fantastic. And like I said, I will always promote them and stuff like that. And I hope to be back on, even if it's just for an episode here and there to do, the books club or to come on and talk about something, I think would be so much fun. But the commitment of what Bree and Aaron want to do is something that I can't commit to right now because this is my priority. This is what I truly, truly love and what I want to continue to do. And yeah, so anyway, that's that. I didn't mean to go into a long explanation about that. So anyway, I haven't really done a lot of long clips in this vlog, so I think we're okay if I get a little chatty on this one. But I will check in with you guys tomorrow. I hope you all have a great day. And like I just said, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Morning BookTube. Happy Saturday. Today is the 11th of June and it is about 8:30 in the morning. So I'm awake, here to sit down and have a chat with you. Did I talk to you guys yesterday? I don't think I did. And I was off work yesterday. Maybe I did. I honestly don't even remember at this point, you guys. So yesterday was a bit of I was off yesterday from work, which was great. Clearly I needed it. And the day just kind of blinked and it was gone. I got very little reading done. And when I say very little reading, I mean maybe 20 pages read yesterday. That's it. I got busy doing a few other things. And then I had a headache come on and I went over to my aunt's house. I visited with her for a couple of hours and I came back and I had this headache. And I just kind of vegged out after that. And I pretty much spent most of the night watching Kara and Nate videos on YouTube. And you know what? I'm okay with it. I think that every now and then, it's kind of just what's needed. Now, I do have books that I'm trying to finish, and it's Saturday. And there's no way I'm finishing 3 books today. There is no way. So I am reading. I don't have pictures of them, and I don't have my devices and stuff here to share with you. But I am reading. What I did get a little bit read of yesterday was Her Dark Life. Guys, it's time for coffee. It's time for coffee. Her Dark Lies by J.T. Ellison. So I am about 35% of the way through that one, I would say. And I didn't read any of Delilah Green, Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. That one I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm enjoying it more than the thriller book. I think maybe just because I'm not in the mood for a thriller right now. But I do, like, I'm already this far into Her Dark Lie, so I am going to finish it. I don't have that much longer left on it on audio, so I can get through it. That one I hope to get through today. That's my one goal, is I want to finish the J.T. Ellison today. And I'd like to get a good chunk of the way through the Delilah Green. I am also reading in digital form The Sweetest Thing by Sasha Summers, which I mentioned the other day as well. So that one I'm literally not even finished chapter 2 yet. I am very slowly working my way through that one. So that one I'm not stressing about. Because I think I mentioned, I am interviewing her, but it's not for another couple weeks. So I have time because I want to read that book, and I also want to read the prequel novella that is contained within the copy that I have. So I can have both them read before I interview her. So that's kind of my goal with that one. But I figure even if I do a couple chapters a day, I can get it done, and kind of stretch it out and take the pressure off. So that one isn't like, oh my God, I must finish it kind of a scenario. So that's good. That's good. So I am going to be, right after I'm done filming this, I am going to film my intro clip for next week's vlog. For, the books that I am picking and stuff like that. So yeah, the headache is gone. Thankfully, I woke up with it this morning at 5 o'clock and it was still there. Yesterday, I'm really trying to be better about not taking painkillers. Not that I have anything against them. If you have pain and you need to take painkillers, there is a reason that we have them. But for me, I have to be very careful because of the medication I'm on. It can mess with my blood work. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm on blood thinners and stuff like that. So I took a couple extra strength Tylenol yesterday morning, like when the headache first started, and then hoping it would knock it out right away, and it didn't. It lingered all day and then got progressively worse as the day went on. And then I took 2 before I went to bed last night, and they didn't do anything. And I woke up with it even worse this morning. It was just like sitting on the one side of my head. It was a migraine. It was a partial migraine. So I bit the bullet, and I have, I think it's called Aleve. It's the generic form of Aleve, which is a medication that, being on blood thinners, I'm really supposed to shy away from. But I did talk to my doctor about it, and I said, like, sometimes I get these migraines, and it's like, if it lasts longer than, if you're still having it the next day, then, yes, you can take one, and then that's it. So I hadn't taken one of those in about 6 or 8 months. That was the first time I've done it. So it's fine. I mean, I have doctor's permission to do that every now and then if I really need to. Because the stress of a migraine can, mess with your blood pressure and can mess with your, so anyway, I wasn't in a good place. Like, pain-wise, I wasn't in a good place. So I took that this morning when I got, at 5 o'clock, I got up, came in here because I keep them in here on a shelf, and I took one, and I went back to bed, and I woke up just after 8, just before 8, and I feel great. Like, the headache is gone. So I'm very, very happy. So yeah, so that is kind of what's been going on. I think I will have finished at 3, maybe 4 books this week, which is not too shabby. I feel like I haven't gotten any reading done, but I have been reading this week, just not as much as I usually do. So the other thing I wanted to mention for those of you who might follow me on Goodreads, because one of you lovely people who really pay attention already, and I think this is great. I'm like, really? Somebody noticed? For those of you who might follow me on Goodreads, you may notice that my bookshelves have like 0 books on them, or very, very few books on them. So I do have OCD tendencies. Don't think I'm OCD. I've never been diagnosed as such. There are just certain things that I need to have in a certain way. It's a quirk. Let's put it that way. And Goodreads is one of those things for me. Something like that, like with my collection, with my organization, with my books, because reading is such a huge part of my life. So what I've been noticing over the past 6 months, like I was noticing this back in December and I didn't do anything about it, and I kind of wish I had at the time, was that a lot of the stuff I have, like that I'd listed as read, it wasn't actually read. Like, I don't know if I clicked on it wrong or what. Stuff wasn't labeled correctly. Way back at the beginning when I started using Goodreads, it would be like, oh, I want to read this book, and I, add it to read when I don't actually own a copy, and I've been trying to clear that up. So I use my Goodreads, and I've mentioned this before, and I know everybody's different, but my Goodreads is a collection of my books and what I've read. So when I say collection, I mean everything I own physically as well as digitally and on audio, like ebook, audiobook, print book, whatever. So anything that's in my want to read is stuff that I have a copy of, whether it be physically or digitally. I know a lot of people use the want to read feature as being like, oh, I want to read this book. So I'm going to add it to want to read. And then they might put it in a secondary label like, oh, I don't own it, but I want to read it. And I get that, but that's not how my brain works. So what I want Goodreads for, like the reason I love Goodreads is that I want to be able to go to the store. Like if I'm shopping or online or something like that, I can, if I'm out, even at a thrift store, I can bring it up on my phone and I can type in the name of the book. And if it shows as want to read or whatever, then I know I have a copy of that book and I don't need to purchase another copy. But I do heavily label everything, and that's part of these quirky tendencies that I have. So like I'm aggressively going in now. Like essentially what I did yesterday was I took Goodreads down to 0, right down to the studs, as they would say in construction. I removed everything I've read, everything I want to read, everything. All my shelves are still there. Like all of my label shelves are still there, but the books themselves are all gone. So those of you might be having heart palpitations right now. I am not, because it's an undertaking and I have to go back and put everything back. I'm working on my read books first. I had, I think, close to 1,400 read books, maybe 1,500 read books. So it's going to take me a little bit of time, but that's okay. I don't mind. I have free time, and audiobooks are great for when you're doing stuff like this. But I do have, because I've been on Goodreads since 2016, I have spreadsheets going back to 2016 of my books that I have read, what I reviewed them at, like what star rating I gave them, and all these. So I'm just going to go back and just refill all that information in so it's all correct. And then I'm going to start with the books that I own. So it's an undertaking. It's probably, I would like to get it done by the end of the summer, but let's be realistic. I'd like to have it done by Christmas, So right now my Goodreads is a work in progress and I'm okay with that. And I did think about yesterday when I took it down to the studs, was like, should I just move everything over to Storygraph? Because I know a lot of people really like Storygraph. And I played around with it yesterday for a good hour. And I don't, in comparison to Goodreads, I'm used to Goodreads. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of an idea. Like I know how to use Goodreads. I know what Goodreads is capable of. I like the different shelving aspects, stuff like that. Like that's what I love on Goodreads. So I'm going to keep it where it is. Like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, I'm happy with Goodreads. Plus a lot of the challenges and stuff that I do are over there. Most of my friends are over there. I know a lot of people are on Storygraph too, but yeah, I like Goodreads. So anyway, so that's kind of what's been going on. That's how I plan on spending a good chunk of my day today. Is I would like to get through, this year, all the books that I've read this year, put all those reviews back. So if you follow me on Goodreads, I'm listing it like don't update my feed, but I guess it is updating my feed somehow. I don't know. So I apologize if you're suddenly getting a plethora of updates from me of books that I've read. I am sorry. It is what it is. I have to do this. For my own quirky mind needs to do this. So anyway, so that's kind of the story for today. So what I plan on doing is when I finish a book, like I said, Her Dark Lies is my goal for today. When I finished it, I will pop back on. It might be much later today, or it might even be tomorrow. I don't know. But I will pop on and let you guys know that I have finished it. So anyway, guys, that's all that I have for this clip today. I hope you liked it. It is what it is. This has been a bit of a weird week. Next week is going to be a really fun week on the vlog because... Should I wait till next week? No. Okay. So next week, next Thursday and Friday, I am actually going away overnight. I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, but my work is doing a work trip, like a team building kind of, it's a summer event. That's what they're calling it. It's like a summer event. So we're going up north of where I live. And we're going to this like resort overnight. So we're going to arrive on the Thursday just before lunch. And I'm staying overnight. It's just me, like Garrett's not coming with me. It's just work people only. And then they have like these events and stuff like that. There's going to be a fancy dinner. And then we stay overnight. And then the next morning we have like these big group meetings, and then we head home on the Friday. So I will be taking you guys along with me for that. So that'll be a little bit of fun extra content next week. So to make up kind of for this week, which was kind of like a little all over the place and very weird. So anyway, I'm rambling, guys. I will talk to you in my next clip. Bye. Morning, BookTube. Happy Sunday. Today is the 12th of June, and it is about almost 9 o'clock in the morning. I haven't had any coffee yet. I wanted to sit down. I wanted to get this filmed because I wanted to get this posted as quickly as possible. So, good morning, everyone. I am here with the final clip of the vlog. Very, very quickly, I want to share with you the book that I did finish yesterday and kind of give you my overall stats for the week. And yeah, and you can also say hello to Presley Cat, who's laying on the bed. He's unfortunately going to get covered with a book cover in just a minute, but I'm sorry, you can still see him right now. So yesterday I finished reading Her Dark Lies by Ellison. I ended up giving this 3.5 stars. So it is a thriller. The reason it got 3.5 stars for me is that I didn't find it particularly thrilling. Thrillers, I'm expecting some sort of a plot twist, something to make me go, oh my gosh, I had no idea. You know what I mean? Whereas with this book, I feel like right from the beginning, I kind of knew exactly what was happening. I knew kind of the twist, if you will. And it wasn't hard to figure out. But the thing is that I've been reading J.T. Ellison for a long time. I did look on Goodreads last night, and I think I read my first book by her back in 2007, and I've been a fan of her stuff ever since. And she's been consistently a good writer for me. So, and this one, I feel like I kind of knew where this was going. Like, I could see clearly what she was doing with it, which is fine. I mean, I gave it 3.5 stars, so it was very entertaining. It was very easily readable. Like, I read through a good more than half of the book. I think I was only at 30% yesterday, and I finished it, and it's a 12-hour long audiobook. So I really enjoyed it, and I do recommend it. It's just if you're someone who reads a lot of thrillers, this one might be like, okay, I've kind of got it figured out, kind of an idea. So anyway, so yeah, so I finished that one yesterday, enjoyed it, 3.5 stars. So for my wrap up, I did actually finish 4 books this week, you guys. So I hinted at this first one. I did finish The Heart-Shaped Murders by Denise N. Wheatley. I gave this book 5 stars. This is the first book in the West Coast Crime series. Stay tuned for my Harlequin reading vlog coming in a few weeks for a full review of this book. Then I finished reading The Summer Seekers by Sarah Morgan, which I gave 4.5 stars to. Thank you very much to NetGalley and to HQN Books for sending me an e-art copy of this one to read and review. I did listen to it on audio mainly, and it was narrated by Georgina Sutton. Then I read Jessi's Horrible Prank by Ann M. Martin. I gave this book 3 stars. Babysitter's Club book number 75. It was narrated on audio by Bandy Turpin. Yes, I did listen to this one on audio. I do like listening to the Babysitter's Club books on audio. I think I've mentioned this before, but my library, they only have a few copies of them. So for me to get them, the holds are often quite a little while. So I was looking at the difference between buying a Kindle or Kobo edition as opposed to buying the audio edition, and the audio edition is like an extra couple dollars, and it's kind of fun to listen to them on audio. It's a real throwback for me, especially in the summertime, because they used to actually put some of the Babysitter's Club books on cassette tape. Who else is that old? Hands? Can I see a show of hands? And I really enjoyed listening to them when I was younger, like if we went on a road trip or something like that. So it's kind of a throwback for that for me. And then, of course, I just finished Her Dark Lies by J.T. Ellison, which I gave 3 stars to. Again, thank you very much to NetGalley and Harlequin Trade Publishing for sending me an e-art copy of this one to read and review. I did listen to it on audio, narrated by Brittany Presley, who did a really great job. Total page count for the week was 1,292 pages, so that's not too shabby. So that was my week, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I put most of it together yesterday, and it wasn't as short as I anticipated. So, yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, guys, I will talk to you in my next one. Take care and happy reading, everybody. Bye.